This is the plaintiff, Lula Brown. She says she was wiped out after Hurricane Sandy hit, and everything in the apartment she rented from the defendant was gone. She knew she had to move out of the defendant's apartment right then and there, and when she told her she was moving on, the defendant promised to give her back her security deposit. The woman gave her a check, all right, but she deducted 1 month's rent from it. What nerve! Considering she couldn't live in the place she was charging her a month's worth of rent for. She's suing for $1,988, the amount she's owed plus aggravation. This is the defendant, Jacqueline Romanelli. She says the plaintiff left a ton of her wet belongings behind after the flood, which in turn caused a huge amount of extra mold to form. When she told the plaintiff she was responsible for removing her wet and ruined stuff, she ignored her and had to go to great expense getting her stuff hauled off. That's why she kept a portion of the irresponsible woman's security deposit. She's accused of being all wet. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $600 for the removal of belongings.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff says her life was devastated after Hurricane Sandy, and her landlord didn't help by keeping her security. But the defendant says the plaintiff left a wet mess behind that created big-time mold. It's the case of you break the mold.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Ms. Lula Brown, you are suing Ms. Jacqueline Romanelli, your former landlord, for $1,988 because she won't return your security deposit and has stressed you out and aggravated you. You have a counterclaim against her for $600 for the removal of her belongings that she just left you with after the hurricane. Tell me what's going on, Ms. Brown.
After Hurricane Sandy, I was in the shelter, and after the shelter, I came back to Long Beach. I didn't go to Island Park because it was messed up. The apartment was totaled.
Did the apartment get totaled?
Yes, it did.
Okay, how far was it from the shore?
We're not even close to
You're not even close, it was just really,
It was just the surge that came in.
All right, okay. So you were in a shelter. Sorry to hear that.
So after I left the shelter, I went to my daughter in Long Beach, and I paid my grandson to go move stuff out of the apartment.
Okay.
And he
You had
did.
to pay your grandson to move stuff out of that's a whole other story. You had to pay him for that?
Yes,
Or
him
you
and
wanted
his
to
friend.
pay him for that?
Because the stuff was heavy. So
Okay.
it was him and his friend. He got his friend to help him.
Right.
And they moved like my TVs, my bed, and the couch out.
Your grandson and his friend had gone to move your stuff when?
It had to be around the third week from when I left the shelter.
Third week after you left the shelter, so that's much later.
Yes.
Okay, so the first thing that happens is
on the 15th.
Okay, had you paid rent for November?
No, because I was at the shelter.
Are you in communication with her at this point, or you have no idea where she is?
You couldn't reach her. Her phone number, her cell phone number that I always called her on was not answering. And I did try to reach her to find out what she wanted me to do with everything. I asked the lady in the front house, and the front house lady said she didn't know where she was.
Okay.
And I would say about November 19th, Lula called me and said that she would like to give me the key, that she had taken out everything that she needed to take out. And then I did not hear from her for weeks.
Are we talking now about the latter weeks in November?
Yes.
Okay, so when she calls you and according to you, she tells you, I've taken everything I want out of there. You don't have that on tape and you don't have that in an email. You don't have that in a text.
No.
All right. And you say to her, okay, what am I supposed to do with all this other stuff? And she says what?
No, she said, I still have some more things in there, but...
oh, so she hadn't taken out everything she wanted?
No, not even close.
Put your hand down. Put your hand down. Okay, but had she told you she had taken out everything she wanted?
She said she was going to go back and get the rest of her things.
Okay, and did she?
No.
Right.
And I had called FEMA, and FEMA had told me that I really had to get everything out of the place, of all the places, because molds would grow.
So should a landlord cut a tenant slack if it's in the middle of a hurricane? What do you think?
I think no.
No, the law is the law?
Yeah, the law.
Really? Is the law the law? You would never cut a tenant slack? What do you think?
I think I would cut them slack because it's like you have to understand their point of view.
Fair enough, but the judge is enforcing the law. Would you cut the tenant some slack about moving belongings?
Morally, maybe, but legally, I don't think so.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
So you get rid of all the stuff that she left behind. You agree that you left behind stuff.
No,
Do you have pictures of how you're saying she left the place?
No, I don't.
Why not? Why not? Do you have a phone?
A phone, yes.
Does your phone take pictures?
Yes.
Okay. So why don't you have pictures of, because that's your claim to keeping the security deposit, isn't it? That stuff was still in there.
Yes.
And that she left it behind for you to have to solve.
Yes.
That's your claim to her security deposit.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you take pictures of the stuff that was still in there that she left for you?
Because she told me that everything in there, she said, I don't want anything else. I called
I
a
understand,
mover.
but that's your basis to keep a security
I
deposit.
don't have the key. Your Honor, at that point, everybody was stressed out. It was a mess.
Okay, food for thought for the future. Anytime that a tenant you feel is doing something that's costing you money, so you're going to take their security deposit, document it. Now, call your witness, your witness is a mover and a friend of yours, right?
Yes.
Okay, come on up. Were you contacted by Ms. Romanelli to clear stuff out of there?
Yes.
Okay, and what did you clear out of there?
I don't know exactly what it was. I sent a crew of 3 men, and they were gone for about 4 hours. They took the stuff to the dump and threw it out. They said it was we picked up whatever was laying around, bags of clothes, a mattress, and the rugs and stuff.
Okay, but personal items, not construction debris.
Personal stuff, and took it to landfill, yes.
Okay, and the lady is a witness as well, or more support?
This is Cynthia Stalter. She came with me when Lula dropped the key off on the 21st.
Okay, come on, switch places, please. Oh, can you two switch places? Okay. Okay, talk to me. What did you see on that day?
I went in with Jacqueline, and I saw that the place was still occupied. There was still a lot of things in there.
What was there?
A couple of chairs, a mattress, just rugs.
And that was on what day? After the key?
Yes.
All right. So how much is a security deposit?
$1,100.
And you returned part of it to her, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay, how much did you return?
$672.
And how did you come up with that figure?
Well, because the security was $1,100, and whatever Section 8 paid me for the month of November because she occupied. And
okay, so a government assistance program paid you for the month of November.
Yes.
Does she have a portion that she pays or no?
Yes, $428.
How much can you stand up a second? Did you charge your friend for removing the stuff?
Yes.
How much did you charge her?
$600.
How much?
$600.
Do you have proof that you paid him $600?
I don't have a receipt.
Okay,
no.
did you pay cash? How'd you pay?
No, I gave him cash.
You gave him cash, she gave you $600 in cash?
Mm-hmm.
You have a counterclaim against her for $600.
Correct.
But because you feel that other amount, that $400 and something, you should be able to keep as rent, I disagree with you. I think that what you're entitled to, because you can't charge rent, the fact that Section 8 decided to pay you for it, and the fact that she kept stuff in there, doesn't mean she can live in there. This is a hurricane. It's an act of God.
I understand that.
Okay? She's in a shelter. She can't go back and pick it up. At some point, she can go back and pick it up. That some point is a couple weeks later when everybody's getting their ducks in a row. I know that she can go back and do something because she does. She goes back and gets what she wants.
Correct.
And then leaves you to clean up the rest.
Correct.
You are correct that you should be able to keep from her security deposit what she left for you to do. So if you've returned $672 of an $1,100 security deposit, then you would still be entitled to, there'd be a deficit on your side. If I tell you can't charge rent, which you can't, but you can charge the cleanup, there would be a deficit on your side of $172. Okay? That she would still have to pay you.
Okay.
That's the $600 minus the $428. All right?
That's fair.
Yeah. Do you understand that you can't?
No, it's not fair. That's her boyfriend.
Are you her boyfriend?
No.
Yes, they live together.
Yes or no? Are you her boyfriend?
No.
Do you date her?
We're friends.
Why would a friend? I'm kind of curious about something. I'm a little curious about why it costs $600 to move a mattress and a few things with 3 guys.
Well, it took about 5 or 6 hours altogether.
Why would it take 5 or 6 hours? How big is the place?
It's a small
Well, you
price,
gotta go
but
to the
there's a
dump and
minimum
run
fee.
around.
I got it. So here's what we're done. We're done. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna order her to pay you anymore. Take the money that was left behind that you ended up keeping for rent, and instead keep that for the cleanup, because I believe that you're entitled to something for the cleanup. And tell your friend he should charge less when he's your friend, if he's your friend. Ms. Brown, you have to understand that you can't. I have 3 witnesses saying that you left a bunch of stuff behind you didn't want, but that stuff has to go somewhere too.
But it wasn't no bed, Your Honor.
Okay.
It wasn't no bed. It wasn't
There
no
were
couch.
3 witnesses saying that there was mattresses.
If I knew
and
I
that
had to bring my grandson, I'd have brought my grandson.
Okay, but you know what? If you left the place empty, you should have brought your grandson. You should know, because you know that she's telling you that she's not giving, that she's had to clean up all this stuff.
She's not telling you the truth.
Okay.
She's not.
All right, we're done.
Even the lady at Section 8 saw me. She's not telling the truth.
Very, very tough situation for everybody in this case, you know. She did?
Yes, she lied. And that's her boyfriend, and he did not take no bed out. The rug on the floor belongs to her.
All right, okay. All right, well, good luck with everything. All right. All right, step in here. You feeling on the result here? Step in.
I felt the hurricane was a disaster for everybody. It was probably the worst thing that has ever happened to me as a landlord. But business is business. She left her stuff there and she had to take it out. And by not taking it out, she caused me excessive grief with the mold all over, and it was absolutely terrible.
Okay, Harvey?
Oh my gosh, we've talked about this so many times before, but it's important to say again, because when you rent an apartment, or if you're a landlord renting out an apartment, you got to take pictures. Both people have to take pictures. Take them when you move in, and then take them when you leave. That way you can compare the difference. And I'm talking thorough pictures of the furniture, the walls, everything. It will protect you.